I'm Frank, and this is the Yamanote Line Ramen series. We are now in Yoyogi, a quiet pocket in between Harajuku and Shinjuku. And we're visiting the top-ranked ramen restaurant here in Yoyogi with a special guest, our resident Yoyogi expert.
Hello.
Also my wife.
Nice to meet you.
You lived in Yoyogi for quite a while before, right?
Yeah, I lived here for 10 years before I got married to you.
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's go.
This is episode 14 of the Yamanote Line Ramen series. 30 stations and way too many bowls of ramen. We're stopping everywhere along the Yamanote Line to find the best bowls. Last episode, we were in Harajuku chasing bright pink vegan ramen, and my dog Crouton made a special guest appearance for that one. Today, we're just one stop over in Yoyogi. It's quieter, more residential, and underrated compared to the chaos next door in Shinjuku. Think small back streets, local shops, and a slower neighborhood vibe. And the ramen, we're visiting the top-ranked spot in all of Yoyogi, a place locals swear by. Let's get into it. So, we're walking to the ramen shop we chose for today, Isoji. Can you tell us a little bit about Isoji?
So Isoji is probably the top rated, or maybe if not the top rated, ramen shop in Yoyogi. Isoji isn't one that I used to frequent a lot, but it's gotten really good reviews recently, so I'm really excited to try something new.
We haven't visited together. We've been separately, so I think it'll be nice to look at our notes together, see what we liked about the ramen shop and so forth.
Frank and I have very different tastes in ramen too, so I think that's going to be really interesting.
This is true. This is a good point.
Yeah, I used to actually live really close to Isoji, so we would take this road down together when you would come over. You know, back when we were in our 20s and super young.
Back when I was courting her.
Yeah, and fun. We used to be fun.
We're still somewhat fun. Maybe 20% as fun as we used to be. Yoyogi was definitely a big part of our earlier lives together, and it's super residential. It's a really nice part of town.
Super quiet, but it's great. It's a literal trip down memory lane for us.
Beautiful place. To recap the ramen we had at Isoji. I talked about in the previous episode, Harajuku, how Meiji Shrine, Yoyogi Park are a beautiful part of the city, and you get that here as well near Yoyogi Station. It's just such a big park that it continues from Harajuku to Yoyogi. Anyways, what did you think of the ramen at Isoji after having had it in not a long time? Yeah, a long time ago.
I thought it was delicious. I also like to consider myself kind of a noodle snob, more so than a soup snob, and the noodles were so good. So good. I like a little bite to my noodles. I like thick noodles. Isoji had all of it.
I tend to think a lot of ramen when I'm eating it, soup first, right?
Yeah.
And that's fair. So much goes into the soup, right? Oh, we're using chickens from this region of Japan. We're using niboshi from here, this and that. But I think you bring up a good point. And I was actually looking up information on Isoji, and I came across my own blog. And I think the title is something like Chewy Noodles, as part of the title. Yeah. So I was that much into the noodles when I first had them a long time ago, and they actually use tapioca flour, which contributes.
Makes sense. That's what the bounce is from, huh?
Even though they were in your soup, they were still super chewy by the end of it.
And I tried some of your skimmin too, and the noodles were even chewier, just because they haven't been sitting in hot soup.
Big portions too, right?
Although I will say, I was debating on whether to get the regular ramen or the toku ramen. So there's a maru toku, meaning it comes with extra toppings, and I kind of regretted not getting those because it comes with double the chashu, 2 wonton, a whole egg. It's definitely worth it, so get that.
I got the toku, definitely was happy about that. From the toppings, and I think you had some of the, one of the 2 dumplings in mind. What did you think were some of the topping highlights?
Oh yeah, I stole one of your dumplings, and I stole half of your ajitama too, because I regretted not getting it. But yeah, the ajitama was absolutely delicious. I think I had a very, very violent reaction, a very positive but violent reaction to the chashu, because it was so delicious. It was, I don't know, how would you describe it? I would describe it as thick and meaty and just substantial.
No, I think so. They were very hefty pieces of chashu, very meaty. It was a nice also fat to meat ratio. It wasn't too fatty.
Yeah.
I don't like it when it's too chewy and tough, right? This was the perfect balance, all those things. Right?
It was.
I think you had a similar reaction to the Naruto, right? We forgot about the Naruto.
Yeah, so I normally don't like nirimono or anything that's ground up fish usually. So I don't really like chikuwa, naruto, anything of that sort in my ramen. But I had a bite of this naruto. It was nothing I've tried before. It wasn't chewy. It just tasted really delicate, and you could taste the fish, but it made sense.
It tasted less processed, almost like it was hen made, and I think it's easy for us to overlook Naruto, right? It's there, it's decorative, yeah, it's a spongy texture, but it doesn't really do that much for the bowl of ramen overall outside of decoration, but this was quality Naruto, and I think overall the toppings were quality, noodles were quality. The soup itself, we should probably talk about. We're going backwards here, but Ali got the miso ramen, which I haven't had there before. I've only had actually their chuka soba or their ramen, and I got the tsukemen or the dipping ramen. So it's basically chicken, pork, and fish. It is pretty fishy, not insanely fishy, but you definitely taste the fish, even in the miso ramen, right?
For sure, for sure. I was expecting it to be more of like a Hokkaido style miso ramen, and it was nothing like that. The Teishu asked both of us, because I think because we were speaking in English, he was like, oh, I'm not sure if these two can handle yuzu. But he was like, hey, do you guys want yuzu in your soup? And we both said yes, and I'm so glad we did, because it was very yuzu forward too, which was delicious. And I think that the yuzu helped cut through a lot of the fatty flavors and the bolder flavors. Fish first, miso second, and then I would say pork and chicken. And then through that, there was just like a lining of yuzu throughout all the flavors, which all kind of tied it together.
No, that's a good summary. I think for them, maybe they want to highlight that soup, which is very fish forward. And, you know, some places, if they're serving miso ramen alongside maybe a shoyu ramen where the soup is clear and you get all those flavors, I think perhaps deliberately they were like, no, if we're going to do a miso ramen, we still want those fish flavors to shine. The miso is going to be there, but it's not going to be getting in the way of everything we want to highlight. Branching off that, my tsukemen or dipping ramen, definitely fish forward. The chicken and pork are there, but more to provide I think a body for the soup, whereas the fish is still the star of the show. But if you're not after a fishier bowl, you might want to get the miso just to get some of that fish away, even though, again, the fish is very much there still.
I thought mine was fishy, and then I tried a little bit of your soup.
The tsukemen was interesting. I actually found myself dipping in the noodles really deep into the soup because the soup wasn't that thick, right? It was actually pretty thin. So I found myself really dunking the noodles in to get that great soup flavor.
What is your assessment overall on the Tabelog rating? Because it's rated, what is it, 3.67?
3.7.
3.7. Do you think it's well worth that 3.7 on Tabelog?
I think for me, I crave maybe something that's a little bit more about chicken and pork. Not that I don't dig my niboshi or dried fish flavors, right? I think that's a personal preference. Level of execution and how good the ramen is, and with not a long wait in a cozy part of town with great customer service, I would say yes. For those reasons I just highlighted, even though it's not something that I'm always personally after. I think the overall experience, toppings and noodles included, I would say that yes, definitely Tabelog rating is well deserved. Thank you.
Yeah. So I lived here right after I graduated college, and my first 10 years of my corporate career, I think I lived in Yoyogi. Absolutely loved it. Because I was in my early 20s, I was living alone, partying a lot. So my memories of ramen in Yoyogi have a lot to do with Gakkin, which is a ramen shop that still exists close to Yoyogi Station. They're open late. I think they're open till about 3 in the morning, and it's very typical Hakata style tonkotsu ramen. Not that that's my favorite style of ramen, but when it's 3 in the morning and you're craving something a little salty, it definitely does the job. Again, I'm a noodle snob, so I love my al dente noodles, and Gakkin they have harigane and konaotoshi, which is barely cooked noodles. Harigane translates to wire. The noodles are wires. It's so good.
If I'm making ramen at home, I almost have to put her noodles in a separate pot to boil because they're gonna come out much quicker than mine, let's say.
I get upset when he overcooks my noodles.
Fair enough. I mean, there's nothing like great chewy noodles. I think, for us, we had a lot of tonkotsu back in the day, just after nights out.
You've gone to Rasta with me, too.
I don't remember going to Rasta. So Rasta is a famous Yoyogi ieke, or tonkotsu shoyu shop. Very famous. There's also Taiwan ramen. Yeah, that gets into the ramen / Taiwanese food, but they have really good dumplings, and they have solid tantamen, if I remember.
Tantamen or the Taiwan ramen's really good, but I would go there for the delicious and oversized dumplings. I sometimes have dreams about them still.
She talks in her sleep about them when she's dreaming.
I do. Abura soba is also here, but that's new. That wasn't here when I used to live here.
Yeah, chains, I think, outside of the ones we mentioned, but let's just say that if you look at the list, Isoji is at the very top. the main guy. And it's the same guy. I remember when I went, last time I went.
Recognized you.
Maybe. You think so? Yeah. And he just had this big smile and it made me happy. And I remember, maybe I'll put the video up here. He thought I was taking a photo when I last went and I was actually taking a video. So it's kind of funny because he's just like, like as if for a photo. Anyways, Yoyogi, great place, I think, to visit. That's a nice tucked away feeling area.
Yeah, it's an underrated JR Yamanote Line station, but I think Yoyogi wants to keep it that way. I don't think Yoyogi thinks like, yeah, we're number one. So close to Harajuku, Yoyogi Park, Meiji Shrine, Shinjuku. Yeah, I absolutely loved living in this area.
I miss coming to this area to visit her too, but yeah, it's nice to revisit the area, I think, today. That said, if you're visiting Tokyo, don't sleep on Yoyogi.
I would just say, like, if you're feeling a little sick of the hustle and bustle of Tokyo, Yoyogi's a great place to kind of reset. Like, we just grabbed some coffee from a local coffee shop and we're just kind of chilling. It looks like we're not in Tokyo.
Sounds like we're moving back. Yeah. Where can people find you online? She is my social media muse, let's say. But that aside, where can people find you online?
You're very welcome, Frank. You can probably find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at just Ali Sakakibara, but you'll probably have to look up XSNW, 4 letters. Extra Small Ninja Warrior. That's not what it stands for, but that's a good way to remember it. I post a lot of bilingual content, being someone who speaks both languages pretty fluently, I'd like to say. I post a lot of comical content on the issues that we face as multilingual people.
She's being modest. I think, I of course am bilingual, but not to the extent that she is. I think I'll make the same stupid joke in English that I would in Japanese without changing it. Like, she has the ability to completely switch. Of course, my better half, I think that much is clear. Go check out Ali's social media. Yeah, that said, I think we'll wrap up our Yogi video. Thanks for being
Frank.
on board. My God.
I've been kind of behind the scenes for several years now, so it's weird to kind of be on camera with you.
Right. No, she is a big part of everything I do on the business side as well, on the YouTube side of things. So I'm so glad that, this is the first time we've been able to do a video together, introduce you. Yeah. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. This was the Yoyogi episode, and next is, oh my God, next is Shinjuku. Shinjuku is going to be insane.
Oh, that's going to be nuts.
I know. I feel like I need 10 videos for Shinjuku. There's so many great ramen shops, and not just because it's big bad Shinjuku. There's just
gonna be 2 hours.
Seriously, no, it's like 2 hours at the minimum. Don't know how we're gonna do this, but we will. Thanks so much, Ali, for joining.
Thank you.
Frank from 5am Ramen and Ali signing out.
Bye.
Bye.